red hot Detroit Tigers, orange hot Detroit Tigers. And Speed says 4 is the match number. Nick's talking about matchups. Who would you rather see in that first round, Nick? If they make it. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, if they make it. I think you got to go for the nostalgic feeling of going up against JF&V, Justin Verlander, in Houston, where AJ Hinch used to dominate in the playoffs. I think he knows that lineup in and out. They still have a lot of guys over there that were over there when he was the manager of the Houston Astros. And like we talked about, just the magic that's been going on, I think AJ Hinch would have a clear attack plan for how to get guys like Yordan Alvarez out, or an Alex Bregman out, or how to go up against a guy like Justin Verlander with these young bats and the approach that you need. So I would say going into Houston would be my ideal scenario if we make it.
I don't know, man. I kind of want the Orioles. They are reeling. They're playing their They're playing their worst baseball at a bad time. They're like falling off almost as bad as Minnesota. Not really that bad, but they don't look good. They had one good game against us. I kind of want to go Orioles, but I don't mind Houston either. I just think Houston's so good, man. They're just such a good team.
Just in the playoffs, they always hit that next step.
Yeah,
that does scare me.
This is a young Orioles team going up against a young Tigers team. We have better pitching than the Orioles. I would rather go with Baltimore than a battle-tested Houston team.
Yeah, I mean, Corbin Burns is right. I mean, he's not as good as Skubal, don't get me wrong, but he can. We've seen what he's done to the Tigers the last 2 times they played him, where he's completely shut him out. Corbin Burns, that is. So, and it's all about that Game 1 series matchup to me. So I kind of like our odds in beating Verlander and the Astros Game 1 compared to going up against a guy like Corbin Burns, who we haven't been able to beat the last 2 times. If I'm not mistaken, those are our 2 last losses to the Orioles, or 2 Corbin Burns starts.
But when we go up against a Corbin Burns, we're going to have Tariq Skubal on the mound in those matchups. We didn't do that against them the last start. I know that. I prefer, if you got one guy on their pitching staff you have to worry about, I'm putting in Tariq Skubal and I'm winning that game. I don't care if it's Corbin Burns on the mound. I have Tariq Skubal on the mound. We're winning.
Now, my question would be this. So we're talking the playoff matchups, and we're talking 2 months now. Tigers have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. So is just making this playoff run enough?
Yes.
Or is there now expectations where if you go home in the first round against a Houston, against a Baltimore, you are still very satisfied with this season?
This making the playoffs is enough for this Tigers team. You were dead 2 months ago. You're extremely young. You didn't really get, you sold at the deadline. So yeah, making this playoffs would be enough for sure.
Nick?
Tate McRae, call me greedy. I'm not, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I
was
cook up
watching
a
a reel
parlay.
of her earlier. No, I'm not satisfied. I think it's a great storybook ending, but no, I think you got to go in and win. This is like such a magical run. I think that this team being so hot right now, I would get greedy, no doubt about it. I think that they can beat either of these teams, the Orioles or the Astros, in round 1 of this series. And then if you're at the Guardians, is anybody telling me they're scared of the Guards?
No, I'm not scared of the Guard.
You guys know?
It is wide open in the American League playoff. The only team that I would be nervous to play is the Yankees, just because of their bats. And DNC ENT has been saying it all the time. Yankees going to Yankee in the playoffs. So even that, you got that sliver of hope. But I'm not going to be mad if the Tigers lose in the first round to the Astros. I'm not going to be mad if the Tigers lose in the first round to the Orioles. But pitching wins in the playoffs. And the Tigers' pitching is better than a majority of teams in the MLB. They got one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, which is insane to say because they've only got 2 guys really that are starters on any given day. If Reese Olson comes back and dominates his last start, then I'd be changing my tune a little bit. But I'm not going to be mad if this young Tigers team, led by young pitching and young bats, loses in the playoffs to a Orioles team which looked like a powerhouse at the beginning of the year and it's kind of tailed off, or an Astros team that has been a powerhouse for the past 5-7 years.
I want this to be known. I'm not going to be mad by any means, but when I say let's get greedy, it's because I think this is such a magical, historic run where I'm at the point, if day in and day out, if we lose, I'm surprised. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Chris, I'm about to send you
It's different in the
something in
playoffs,
Slack.
though, man. Teams lock in, teams tighten up, managers make better decisions. The lineups are smaller, so you're seeing their best bats every day. You're not getting rest times for different guys. It's different in the playoffs, and I like our chances against anyone else based on what Hinch can do to win you a game here or there. Like, pinch hit this guy here or make this decision there to win you a game. And Tariq Skubal is a guaranteed win. So, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah,
Because I don't want to say this team has to win a playoff series or I'm disappointed. No, they shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's saying that. I'm saying I believe personally that this team can get to the ALCS. That's where I'm at right now.
That's aggressive.
I believe that they can, though. Like, who are the Guardians? What are we really talking about here? They've been good all year, but they've been over expectations all year. We've been over expectations for about a month and a half.
Exactly.
And speaking of that, Chris, I just sent something in when you get a second. This team has been on such a great run, and it's because everything's clicking at the right time. And when you think about something clicking, you think about just this masterful defense from a guy like Parker Meadows out in center field that has been taking everything away from the opposition. I think he's playing the best center field that I've ever seen anybody play.
So 3 games in Houston, you expect to win 2 of them. Because that's what it would be. You would have to go to Houston and play 3 straight games. Or you would have to go to Baltimore and play 3 straight games.
Was home field, is that really a thing
That
in
is a
baseball?
thing.
I mean, I know there's dimensions, but
Yeah,
like,
it's
It's
probably
just like the crowd and whatnot.
the crowd, especially in the playoffs, batting in the bottom of the inning compared to the top of the inning.
that's very fair. That part.
That's extremely important.
That's the part that matters the most.
But Nick, so you would feel
So I don't know
confident
if
in
you
that.
can. Is confident different than expecting? Like, I don't
No.
know if I would expect to win, but I'm confident that they can win. Like,
You
I'm
could
not
see it.
counting myself out. Yeah, by any means.
Okay.
Like, I would like to see the odds of that series if you're coming in super red hot like we have been. And speaking of Parker Meadows, since he's been called up here, fellas, this is what I tweeted out earlier. The Detroit Tigers are 33-12 since Parker
Yeah.
Meadows has been called back up from Toledo in games he plays. That is a 118-game win pace, which would be first all time
Yeah.
in the history of baseball. That's how hot that this team has been, fellas.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. So, yeah, maybe I don't expect to win, but goddamn, I'm going in there confident that they can do so because that's the pace of baseball that they've been playing since Parker Meadows has been back.
And
they can go out there and make noise in the AL. I wouldn't be shocked if they're going up against the Yankees in the ALCS the way they're playing right now.
And the biggest thing of it is these guys have nothing to lose. There's no pressure on them. They're playing for fun. They're playing on house money. They shouldn't have been here 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. They shouldn't have been here. And now they are. And now they just keep going out there having fun, winning baseball games. You go to Baltimore, you go to Houston, all of the pressure in the world is on one of those 2 teams. Houston, the team that's played in the ALCS for the past 10 years. Baltimore, the team that was a powerhouse juggernaut for the first half of the season. All of the pressure is on them. The Tigers have absolutely no pressure. Could go out there, have fun, and play some baseball. They have a better manager in both of those matchups. They have a better pitching staff in both of those matchups. It's not crazy when you piece it together like that. But I'm not expecting it.
Parker's Meadows defense is worth +1 out.
It is. It is. Parker Meadows
catch he made the other day was
he's the
fucking
best
crazy.
center fielder in the MLB. Like, he is insane.
The funny thing about that catch is they're all checking out the highlight reel on the iPad and
Yeah.
in the dugout. They're like, hell yeah, dude, I can't believe you did
Yeah,
that.
this team's
And it's
dope, man.
crazy because he's so big.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Long
a
as fuck.
big dude, and he
Looks
is
like
a
a basketball
gazelle out there.
Yeah.
Dude,
We
I
do
could-
got to go to break.
Shout out Sweeney too.
I'm
man.
going to the Tigers game
Yes.
after this. Tell us
Shout
about
out
the
Sweeney.
pregame.
You want to give us your parlay if you do?
Yeah. Come on.
I just didn't want you to interrupt the man talking in the middle of his speech. Yeah, I got a parlay. He's talking.
He was almost done.
You always do
I feel like
that.
it's your show.
Someone's talking like, oh, this person in the chat says.
He was almost done. Hey, we're here because of the chat.
Chat.
All right, but my parlay for the Tigers game tonight, which I'll be leaving to shortly, I got the Tigers money line, Parker Meadows to record a hit, Riley Green 2+ bases, Kiter Montero over 4.5 strikeouts. It's plus 604 on Caesar Sportsbook.
Kiter
struck out.
Got it, Montero.
Kiter struck out 7 in his last appearance against the Baltimore Orioles.
Did he have Jackson Jobe on this team ready to back him up?
But he did that in 4 innings. He struck out 7.
He's got swing and miss stuff. You heard it here first. Benmo calling his shot tonight. Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Watch him at the field.